Hey, John.
Eric, happy Wednesday night.
Yeah, it's actually Wednesday night.
It is actually Wednesday night, at least as we record this. How are you?
Yeah. Soon to be Thursday. I hope not. We're still not recording when it becomes Thursday.
It's all good. It's all good. How's your week?
My week was good. I'm very tired. We had I think I mentioned last week, we were dropping two girls off to college,
Mm-hmm.
getting them all moved in and everything. So that's what we did this weekend.
Long drive, short flight.
Long drive, short flight, quick turnaround, but got them all moved in. Spent helped the day helping them clean up, get things unpacked and get your first set of groceries and make sure that you are not going to starve. Made a discovery that there's no vacuum. So how about if we go get a vacuum? Things like that. So got them squared away and then flew home. And while I was there, I of course helped my daughter get her fancy gaming PC all set up.
Okay.
And I knew this, but it dawns on me to the point where I'm like, oh, I am now without a fancy PC at home now. And I had been taking advantage of her PC and playing the one video game I actually enjoy on it. Now what am I going to do? So Saturday afternoon, I'm sitting there thinking to myself, you know what I should do? I should buy my own PC. I can solve this problem with money. And so Saturday, I ordered myself a new one, and it showed up today.
Wow.
All the way from Taiwan. So
wow.
I got to watch it fly
chain.
from Taiwan to Alaska to Memphis, Tennessee to Portland, Oregon to my house.
A little overshot the West Coast a little bit there, but okay.
Whatever works. FedEx, I assume they know what they're doing.
They do have their logistics down.
Yeah. So anyway, so that's what I did. And this afternoon after work, I spent some time getting it set up because when we got home, my boy and I played the game together, and it's just not any fun on a split screen on a PlayStation.
Right.
It's much more fun to have the full
You're
view
spoiled,
yourself.
is what I'm hearing you say.
Yes, that is exactly what I am. I am absolutely spoiled.
I resemble that remark, and that's okay. That's okay. That's okay.
So
well done.
So that's what I did this weekend and I am still tired. I'm still tired.
Yes, it's a long weekend. Well, I I hurt my back like running out. So last Friday, I had like reserved a lunch so that I intended to go out and put in what are called bee escapes so that I could harvest honey on Saturday. And so but anyway, my planned lunch kind of got a little crashed, so I was in a rush. So I was like, but I had to get the bee escapes on because I had the honey house reserved for Saturday.
Right.
End of the story is the honey has been extracted here, but so I run out, and oh my gosh, the bees were so upset. And it's one of those things like bees, animals, like they know when you're stressed. Like your your attitude has a lot to do with training a dog or handling bees
or whatever.
And just if you're rushing, you're not being quiet and smooth and calm. And anyway, I managed to get it done. Got stung once badly and a couple.
I was going to say, so once badly. How many times not badly?
I think 2. So
okay.
So
A total of three.
the
One that hurt, and two they're like whatever.
yeah, I mean, so this is the day of the year that I think, John, you really should buy a full bee suit instead of just a jacket, because Levi's are good, but like they're not great. So and I mean, I must have scraped out dozens of stingers from my jeans. So it was
It
only.
just didn't make it all the
It
way
was
through.
only, yeah, it was only, and that's where a couple of them that the weak stings maybe, but anyway, whatever. It's all good. It's all good. It's not nobody's fault but mine. But
Okay.
net is that I Friday night my wife comes home and I'm like making dinner or something like that or getting out some dishes and she wasn't in the house for like 10 seconds before she's like, what'd you do to your back? Because evidently, however I was holding myself, I was like, well, I don't know. So Saturday morning, I get up and she's like, do you need my help? And I'm like, I don't know. Let me see. Well, blah, blah, blah. And, so I do the errands to kind of get ready. Because I didn't do them Friday night, of course, because I'm procrastinator extraordinaire. But really, we were busy. We were doing other stuff. I was doing other stuff Friday night with my boys. Anyway, so Saturday morning, like first thing in the morning, I run down to Lowe's to get some paint strainers to put in the 5-gallon bucket for cappings, and I run and get a couple more buckets because I think I'm going to get more honey than I wound up actually getting. And then I got back to the house, so I told my wife, I'm like, I think I'm going to have to take you up on your offer of assistance because I don't think I'm going to get it all done. So anyway, so she was a trooper because she does not want to deal with bees, but she put on
Yeah.
my old bee jacket. She put on my old gloves. She came out and helped. And because we had to take the boxes off the hives and then go down and do the extraction. And, we were, it took us longer than we should have, or than I had reserved, just because I was moving much slower than expected. Really grateful for her help, obviously, but we were done by 1 instead of 12. And whoever had the honey house reserved for Saturday afternoon hadn't shown up by 1 o'clock when we left. So I guess all's well that ends well. And I got, I'm going to call it about 8 or 9 gallons of honey. So
Okay.
not a ton, but not a little either. So
Yeah.
there will be plenty of honey that the Wheeler household can rely on if you so care. I haven't
If I'm so
I
inclined.
haven't put it in any jars yet. But anyway, but I have tried it. It's good. So there you go. Honey has
Cool.
has been extracted for the year. The bees were very much not happy. They totally remembered me too. Coming back on Saturday morning, they were like, "Oh, you,
This guy
you."
again.
I didn't, and I did not wear the same jeans because they have this maybe a pheromone. It's not Nasinoff. They when they sting you and the bee dies, they emit a pheromone or a scent that the other bees will go to that same place and try and sting. So the last thing you want to do is wear clothes that had been attacked.
Had been previously stung.
Yeah, not a winning strategy. So
No.
but anyway, so it was a good weekend. So Sunday, I pretty much late Saturday and most of Sunday, I pretty much stayed with the ice pack on my back, and I'm doing okay now. Honestly, I'm not 20 anymore. I need to anyway. It was a good weekend though. It was a good weekend.
Good.
Yep,
Good.
yep. So
Well, I don't see any follow up.
I didn't throw anything in there. I'm running on dregs, so
Yeah. And so the one I stumbled across caught my eye mostly because my oldest daughter worked at the zoo, My boy currently volunteers at the zoo before he heads off to college. And I saw this article about the headline is Cyber Criminals Siphon Credit Card Numbers from Oregon Zoo website.
Not
So
good.
not at the venue itself, but the website. So apparently the zoo had to file documents with regulators on Friday, this past Friday, that outlined a months long campaign against the payment platform the organization uses on its website. So if you go online and buy zoo tickets, their ticketing service, July 22nd, the zoo learned that an unauthorized actor redirected customer transactions from a third-party vendor who processed online ticket purchases, potentially obtaining payment card information from December 20th, 2023 to June 26th, 2024.
Oof.
As a precaution, the Oregon Zoo reviewed all transactions from this period to identify anyone whose payment card information may have been affected. The personal information that could have been subjected to unauthorized access includes your name, credit card number, the CVV, and the expiration date. Then the interesting thing to me in this article was it jumps right out and says that the Oregon Zoo told regulators in Maine. So
Oregon
the state
and Maine.
furthest from
Laterally.
Maine, they had to tell regulators. The Oregon Zoo also clearly told federal law enforcement agencies, and the zoo is providing all victims with 1 year of credit monitoring services. The zoo had to file breach notifications with regulators in Oregon and Texas as well. I don't know why they did.
Some
it must be because
states must have laws that if their citizens, their residents,
that's got to be it. Because I would expect California there, being California's much closer, but maybe no one from California came to the zoo between the December and June or whatever. I don't know.
I'm sure.
So
like a mage cart thing?
Yeah, it doesn't really say. It says a payment skimming malware infection is a tried and true method for cyber criminals to earn money for years. In skimming attacks, hackers embed tools or malware onto e-commerce sites that allow them to siphon credit card information. So I don't know if it was a mage cart type thing or if their website just got hacked and somebody put some custom JavaScript in there. The Oregon Zoo seems like a weird one for me. I don't know that there are. That's not a $1 million moneymaker. I can't imagine. Even for 6 months worth of potential credit card online, zoo access. Clearly, they didn't do it for everyone because people got tickets and went to the zoo. So it doesn't really say a whole lot after that, but it does mention that the Oregon Zoo is just the latest major zoological organization to face attacks by cyber criminals after the Toronto Zoo and the Tampa Bay Zoo have also dealt with incidents over the last 12 months. So some threat actor group has said, hey, you know who we haven't targeted yet? Zoos.
Enough with these hospitals.
We should go after zoos. Yeah.
Well, if you click on the main notification, it says it goes to Office of the Maine Attorney General, and it says there have been 157 Maine residents affected in the 117,815.
Welcome to our neck of the woods.
So
Maine.
There you go.
Because when I first read that, my mind skipped because I'm like, Portland, Maine. There's a typo. I thought it was like a typo or something.
The Portland Zoo? Like the Portland, Maine Zoo?
Yeah, the Portland Zoo. It's not Portland, Maine. And then I read. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
There you go. That's my article for today.
So I'm going to tie yours in to a minor, like a half topic.
Okay.
Because notifications are interesting, and required notifications or disclosures to, the SEC, for example, are interesting. And
call back to last week.
Call back to last week. So I didn't see much data in an article about this, even just doing a quick Google for it too. So the link that I'll put in here is actually to the SEC filing for a company, Orion, which is trading ticker symbol OEC. Looking at the SEC filing itself, it just says Orion SA. So their filing says that in fact, I'll just read this. On August 10th, the company determined that a company employee who was not a named executive officer was the target of a criminal scheme that resulted in multiple fraudulently induced outbound wire transfers to accounts controlled by unknown third parties. As a result of this incident, and if no further recoveries of transferred funds occur, the company expects to record a one-time pre-tax charge of approximately $60 million for the unrecovered fraudulent wire transfers. Oof. The company has cooperated and will continue to cooperate with law enforcement as appropriate, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So, the one article that I did read said that it was for BEC, or business email compromise. But there's I don't know where that data actually came from. It does not seem to be in the statement itself here. So that's why it's a half topic. We'll have to see. I'm sure there'll be more data forthcoming at some point. But having companies required to file with the SEC when they're the victim of a breach is definitely yielding good data that wasn't probably coming to light earlier, or without that requirement. So my actual topic for the night is Mac OS malware.
Nice.
That doesn't actually exist, right? According to Apple. So this is cybersecurity researchers have uncovered a new macOS malware strain dubbed TodoSwift that they say exhibits commonalities with known malicious software used by North Korean hacking groups. So who are they?
Is this TodoSwift like Taylor Swift? Like writing on Celebrity? Or is this...
No, I think it is a...
Payment, Swift payment.
Oh, no. Try again. How about Swift language?
Oh.
Because
okay.
It's Mac OS. Sorry, dude. It's late.
I should have gone for the obvious.
It's
my bad.
It's written in Swift. And
got it.
And who do they target? Crypto. Why? Of course, because they're trying to do, collect crypto from people around the world what does it say? It says the DPRK via units like the Lazarus Group continue to target crypto industry businesses with the goal of stealing cryptocurrency in order to circumvent international sanctions that hinder the growth of their economy and ambitions. But the link that I put in here is to the Hacker News, but it contains a link to the actual researcher blog that has a lot more technical information, debugging, etc. But they tie this back based on common traits, including a common command and control server for two other malware families, Rust Bucket and Candy Corn.
Okay.
Are the other threats. Anyway, so they're targeting crypto. I want to say crypto bros. Maybe they're not all bros, but crypto bros on a public chat server with a lure designed, I'm reading here, a lure designed to speak to their skills and interests with the underlying promise of financial gain. So it basically is it says it's a signed GUI application that shows basically a PDF off of Google Drive, but then while it's showing the document, they're downloading a instructions and potentially another binary from a command and control server. So it says, the actual text here is, a GUI application written Swift UI that's engineered to display a weaponized PDF document to the victim while covertly downloading and executing a second stage binary. The Lure PDF is a harmless Bitcoin-related document hosted on Google Drive, whereas the malicious payload is retrieved from an actor-controlled domain. The payload is designed to harvest system information and run additional malware. So, there you go. Nobody's safe. Nobody's safe.
Okay.
There's IOCs and stuff like that on the technical one, but all right, that's what I brought tonight. How about something fun?
Okay, so my fun. I was running out of fun things to think of tonight.
Oh, new computer's not fun.
I was trying to think of something. Yeah. Well, that's fun, but I talked about it at the beginning, and Anyways, I realized that behind me, and I should go take a picture of it to show you, is my dad loves chess. I remember playing chess with my dad and my grandpa and my uncles from like when I was super little. His earliest memories of hanging with the uncles included them teaching me how to play chess.
Okay.
And so I have probably 7 or 8 chess sets at home. I don't really play much anymore, but my dad sent me this old chess set. And it's like one set of pieces are pewter and the other are some type of iron or copper, or, and a few of the pieces are busted. And so I'm trying to figure out, hey, can I solder these back together? Or, how can I put these pieces back together? Mm-hmm. I have most of the parts. I am missing the head of one of the horsemen. So it's like an actual horse and a guy on a horse.
He's a headless horseman.
He's a actual headless horseman, and maybe we'll just go with that. But the board is like a fancy board base with drawers that you pull out, and then a nice polished top and the sides. And it was all broken. The little pin nails had fallen out, and the glue had kind of ripped in places, and there was some it almost looks like spray insulation.
What?
Yeah, it's that kind of consistency of stuff was used. I don't know, but with the felt. Anyways, so I thought it'd be fun. He sent this to me, and I thought maybe I will take it all apart, sand down all the edges, clean it all up, use little dowels instead of these pin nails, and put it all back together, and then I would have this kind of nice tabletop show. I mean, it's not small either. It's probably a good 18 to 20 plus inches square.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty good size. And the drawers are like the soft close drawers with the roll. I mean, it's...
Wow, that is fancy.
It is a little on the fancy side. So, but, it was falling apart when he sent it to me. So that's my fun project is... I've got my boy helping me, sand the wood down. We'll put some dowels instead of pin nails in it, some nice glue, and make it look kind of fancy. So that's something fun is a little show project for me.
That would be cool.
For fun.
We'll if you give me a before photo, I can throw it into the show notes if you want me to.
I will.
I will say that.
Well, it's now all spread out on a table, so I probably don't have a before photo now. I have here's a bunch of parts photo.
An intermediate photo. So it's ironic you say that because my wife's going to be teaching a 6th grade class this year, and they very much enjoyed chess during some of the recesses and stuff like that. And so one of the things that we bought this summer was kind of a fancy chess set to have in her classroom. It looks
similar to that.
Because their theme, one of the themes for the year is the medieval ages, or Middle Ages. And so she kind of got this medieval, like, looking chess set to have in her classroom. And we also got a tapestry, by the way. One of the, I think it was one of the senses, the Lady in the Unicorn tapestries that we actually saw in
Uh-huh.
France a couple years ago, but I helped her hang in her classroom. So anyway, the other day, it was very cool.
Yeah, the pieces look similar, very much similar.
Well, for only, I forget what this was, like $150, you could have the piece. Anyway,
Yeah.
anyway, anyway, there you go.
Eh,
That's awesome.
cool.
Fun.
No, I've also got a bunch of just chess pieces made out of different materials. Like I have some made out of marble and obsidian, like a white marble and obsidian, but I don't have a chessboard for it.
Oh,
So my other project one of these days is to go build a nice obsidian and marble chessboard that fits these pieces.
oh.
So
Well,
anyway, sorry.
if
Enough about
if you
chess.
wanted to make a wooden chessboard, I know a guy that has all the woodworking machines to do
I
that.
I do know a guy,
So,
and I have considered that as a potential option. So
all right, all right.
one
all
of
right.
these days, one of these days.
So my something fun. I was just in browsing just various stuff I see. I think we did something like this at some point in the last. This is episode 350. So in the last 350 episodes, it was a Smithsonian articles from 50, 100, and 150 years ago. I'm
Uh-huh.
sure we did this. I was probably your something fun or something like that. But anyway, here's another one. So this is from 1974, 1924, and 1874. And
Okay.
so 1974, it was about the Mariner 10 that was passing or floating past Mercury. So the quote I pulled out was, in the 5 months since the spacecraft Mariner 10 floated past Mercury, quantitative analyses of its instrumental data and the 2300 high-resolution photographs have revealed some surprises. The early photographs indicate that Mercury strongly resembles the Moon, but measurements of the planet's mass indicate that unlike the Moon, and like the Earth, it must have a heavy core. There you go.
Define
50
high resolution photograph
50
in
years.
1974.
Way, 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 way lower resolution than your phone.
340 by 340.
Exactly. I don't know. Although that's the era of the SR-71, and they took high resolution photographs. So,
Yeah. On film, though.
this is very true. And what, you're telling me they didn't send the film back to for development? No. Yeah.
No, it's still very cool.
It's very cool.
Sorry, I didn't mean to ruin it.
You're like stomping on Mariner 10.
I'm throwing off your groove. I
Okay,
apologize.
1924. So this was interesting. This was food chemists have known about 4 or 5 vitamins for quite a few years, but Eddie, Kerr, and Williams of Columbia University are the first who have isolated any one of them. Vitamin D is the one without which you are in danger of having rickets. When isolated, it is crystalline. It is a crystalline white substance that looks like a dose of quinine. You cannot eat it straight. If you do, you will regret it. They hope to show someday that life is simply a chemical process. Okay, interesting. There you go. Okay, but the one that, okay, so those were interesting. That's 50 years, 100 years ago. 150 years ago, and this is why I actually chose the article, raining ants and herring. Sorry.
Okay.
An ant rain.
Come again?
An ant rain. Yes, 6 legs. Pinchers, I presume. An ant rain recently happened in Cambridge, England. At about 6 o'clock in the evening, shortly after a rise in temperature, a shower of ants in countless millions settled in the streets, covering the pavements. There is believed to be no record of an ant rain of such magnitude. We have also found a large number of cases of showers of fish, generally explicable by the occurrence of waterspouts, which draw them up, whence carried by strong gales to the land. In Scotland, rains of herrings have frequently occurred, the fish in some instances falling far inland. A shower of frogs fell near Toulouse in 1804. The rat shower of Norway was traced to a whirlwind, which, overtaking an enormous army of the rodents during their annual journey from a hilly region to the lowlands, whisked them up and deposited them in a field at a considerable distance. So there you go. Scientific American article reporting from 150 years ago. Raining ants and herring.
I wonder if it still does.
I thought that was funny. I didn't Google that. I don't know why it wouldn't, but
climate change.
Anyway, it's
cool.
It's raining ants.
That's unfortunate. All right, John. It's been I'm tired.
All right, my friend.
Let me go to bed.
All right, my friend. I will talk to you later. Bye.
Later. Bye.